Hello, my name is Harold, this is TechonTech, and today we're going to talk about electrostatic discharge bracelets. Let's go ahead and get started. An ESD bracelet is, for all intents and purposes, something to keep you from discharging electricity. So you see the battery, that is the human body, can build up electrostatic over time, and working on certain things with that static can actually cause a problem. For electrical components, it can fry things because certain electrical components are really sensitive, and if electricity goes the wrong way, it can cause a short. So what they developed was these ESD bracelets. Now what you do is you wear one on your wrist, you can see the example over here, and then you plug the other end, the alligator clip there, into a ground. Probably better to make your own ground, but most technicians tend to plug it into the ground of a power outlet. Now, I love ESD bracelets, but what I love more than an ESD bracelet with a plug into the ground is an ESD bracelet that doesn't have to plug into the ground. So I set about designing one that wouldn't have to be plugged into the ground. Now, I actually succeeded, I believe, in this particular context, but before I get into my design, I want to show you what the other designs are out there and why some of them are a scam. So, first here, we have one of the two ones that I found online. This is one of the bigger ones out there, and this was not great. In fact, I'm going to show you the video and the breakdown here in just a minute and why it's a problem. Then I'm going to show you the one that was fantastic and the one that I bought 3 of because it was so great. And then I may even, if I can find it, show you the one that I built using some similar context, but I digress. First things first, this one is a groundless electrostatic bracelet, and let's see if I can find the other one. Yep, there it is. This is the other one that I found on there, and this one is magnificent. It totally works 100%. The other one is absolutely a scam, this one here, and you know what? I have them right now. Let's go ahead and switch over here. Give me a second. We're going to switch that and that. All right. What I have over here is the one that, by the way, I love so much. I bought 2 of. In fact, actually, I take back. I actually bought 3 of these. This is fantastic. It's just really well designed. And then here's the other one. So let's start with the one that's the problem. So you need something that's, well, they use, when you're looking into grounding, they use the word negative ion, and that's kind of like a material state that has no electric charge. Since more electricity will move to a point where there's lesser electricity, your negative ion charge, which is usually the ground, is where electricity tends to go. Now, a negative ion, or a lesser electricity state, I mean, there are ways to do this, including density, and I'll show you what I ended up doing. But first, let's take this out. This is you will recognize, although I have disassembled this in pre-eminence for this. Here we go, just the top of it. You'll recognize this from the stuff online, and this was basically garbage. When I opened this thing up, what I found was what looks like a resistor. Now, this resistor had no path out. It had a path, I'm sorry, this may not be able to see this, but it is indeed a resistor. It had no path out. It was fundamentally just connected to the metal like this and was connected to nothing else. It had no path for electricity, and well, one could argue there might be some way for that to function. This had nothing. This thing, there might be designs on the other ones that are better, but it looks like they had just simply just kind of, sorry about the focus, welded it to this point here. It went nowhere. This is garbage. Now, in my design, I found a better way to do it. In fact, if you ever looked in a car and you see how they do ground in a car, what they do is they run the positive into the electronics, and they will actually connect the negative to the car to act as a ground. What I decided to do was to use a battery, a dead battery, to act as a dissipator, of course, creating a complete circuit. And my initial testing has been fantastic. This is very likely a scam. I've not been able to prove that this works at all. If I do find out that it does, this resistor concept and all of this is basically not worth the money that it was used, or the excuse to make it. I promise, if I'm wrong and I find out later this works through testing, I will come back and I will revise this video and revise my opinion. But for now, I'm not. So what I ended up doing is I actually disassembled one. In fact, I'm going to pause this for a second because I want to go get the one that I designed and built and kind of show it to you. All right, I am back. Let's go ahead and move aside the thing that didn't work. Now, this was before I realized that another better version existed. I built this, and what I did is in my first version, I used a full battery. In my second version, I realized that a dead battery would probably actually work better. Now, well, let me show you. I have basically taken a battery, and I'm sorry about the focus here, but I've taken a battery. I've used aluminum foil to connect the positive to the negative, and then this actually uses the core of a ESD bracelet. By the way, this is fully a prototype, so don't go thinking that this is fantastic. As you can see, I used an ESD bracelet. I used aluminum foil to create kind of a complete circuit around the battery, and then for a path to that complete circuit, I used the ESD bracelet, aluminum foil, and just a standard coin cell battery. This has thus far worked fantastic. In fact, I built this before realizing that there was a better alternative to this, and that's why I'm gonna tout this. Now, this thing, which by the way, if you want to go get one and look it up, I stand by this. I have not been able to 100% test its full efficacy, but this, and I'm not going to disassemble it. Sorry guys, I know you probably want to. It's beautiful on the inside. It is mine. It is years more advanced, and it does basically exactly what mine does, only it additionally has a light which acts as a kind of alternate dissipator for those who study let's see, I think that would be maybe physics or engineering. You'll know that I'm using the battery to dissipate it, but this has the addition of a light which actually can change. Let's see if I can kind of get a focus on that light there. Yeah, see, it has a light that sometimes comes on when the static electricity or field is big enough, and it does happen. And what this does is this changes the state of the electricity into something else. You know, I could eventually build mine into this, but this was incredible. I found this after I built mine and realized they had taken the idea I was working with and advanced it. This is gorgeous. I'm glad to have kind of posted that on the video there. You guys can see it. Look these up. These are every bit as good as what I believe they are, and well, plugging into a actual ground is probably going to be better and faster and all that. This, as far as my opinion goes, works. Can't say enough. I looked at the engineering behind this and it's brilliant. It is fundamentally mine, only 5 years more advanced. Like, they had taken the idea and they had taken it even further. This thing is garbage. The blue one's garbage. The one that's aluminum foil and duct tape is my prototype. And then this is a beautiful work of engineering. Guys, I probably won't drag this video out too much further. I just wanted to show you the stuff that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks. I'm gonna go ahead and let me see. Well, let's turn this back over to the video, and we'll just kind of go down this list. It is possible that these other blue ones are designed differently than the one I got, but I seriously doubt it. I would not touch those. On the other hand, and I contacted the seller, I was like, dude, these things are awesome. I would love to contact you, and this is just fantastic. I'd love to be a part of this guy's work. This thing is great. Keep an eye on it, or buy it if you want to. I can't 100% cannot fully because I'm still doing some testing, but this thing, I'm 95% sure this thing is just perfect for doing wireless ESD dissipation. Now, there are some things you probably still want to go with the traditional one for, like this is for lower levels of electricity, like lower levels of voltages. There's probably some really high level stuff that would be very bad to run and have a battery on your wrist, so keep that in mind. But I would leave it at that. Guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, trying to get out as many of these videos as I can to help the community. I leave you to the rest of your day. This is Harold, TechonTech. We will see you next time.